Let's start with Jim's inner circle. Insiders say his friends have been split down the middle since the divorce news broke. Some are encouraging him to let go gracefully, warning him that chasing after her might only make things worse. They argue that she's already made her decision and that trying to pull her back into the marriage would only reopen old wounds. But others are telling Jim to fight for what he loves, to prove that the bond they shared isn't something that can be dissolved with a signature on a piece of paper. And here's where things get complicated. Jim has never been the kind of man to back down from a challenge. His career is proof of that. When the industry doubted him, he doubled down. When rivals tried to bury him, he came back harder. That same fighting spirit is reportedly driving him to hold on to hope that this divorce doesn't mean the end of their story. According to one source, Jim has already reached out to his wife multiple times, trying to get her to sit down and talk things through. But so far, she's keeping her distance, focusing on her own healing and peace. Meanwhile, fans are rallying around Jim's wife in ways that are both empowering and heartbreaking. Social media has become a chorus of support for her, with countless women saying they see themselves in her story. They've flooded her mentions with messages of encouragement, telling her she's brave for finally choosing herself after years of being overlooked. Some are even calling her a role model, an example of how loyalty doesn't mean sacrificing your self-worth, but with the praise also comes the pressure. Every move she makes is being analyzed. She posts a smiling photo, people wonder if she's already moved on. If she stays silent, fans speculate that she's hurting behind the scenes. It's a double-edged sword. She's finally free. But she's also more visible and scrutinized than ever before. Adding fuel to the fire are the rumors of what comes next. Already, gossip blogs are buzzing about possible new suitors, with anonymous sources claiming that high-profile men are lining up to shoot their shot now that she's officially leaving Jim. While there's no proof of any of this, the speculation alone is enough to stir drama. And of course, Jim has caught wind of these rumors, which reportedly makes him even more determined to win her back. For a man with as much pride as Jim, the idea of another man stepping into his place is almost unthinkable. But here's the reality. Divorce isn't just about love or pride. It's about power, independence, and finally reclaiming control after years of living in someone else's shadow. Jim's wife has reportedly been pouring her energy into personal projects, building her brand, reconnecting with friends, and prioritizing her mental health. For the first time in years, she's putting herself at the center of her own story, and that shift is powerful. Fans are already speculating that she might use this moment to launch something bigger. Whether it's a book, a podcast, or even a reality show of her own. And speaking of reality TV, let's not forget the looming question. Will this entire saga play out on camera? Love and Hip Hop has never shied away from exploiting personal drama. And there's no denying that Jim and his wife's divorce would be ratings gold. But would she really agree to put her heartbreak back on display? Some say yes, arguing that controlling her own narrative could be a form of empowerment. Others believe she's finally done with that cycle and won't allow her personal pain to become entertainment ever again. Either way, producers are undoubtedly watching closely, waiting to see how this story unfolds. But perhaps the most fascinating part of this entire situation is how it's reshaping Jim's legacy. For years, he was admired not just for his music, but for the image of being a family man, deeply connected to the woman who stood by him from the very beginning. That image is now fractured, and fans are left questioning whether the loyalty and love he rapped about were real or just part of the brand. In a way, this divorce threatens to overshadow his entire career, reminding the world that behind the tough exterior was a man who couldn't keep the one relationship that mattered most. Together still, it would be unfair to paint this as a simple villain versus hero story. Relationships are messy, complicated, and layered. Jim is human, and so is his wife. Both of them made mistakes. Both of them sacrificed, and both of them tried, at least for a while, to make it work. But sometimes love isn't enough. And sometimes the bravest choice is the hardest one. So where do they go from here? For Jim's wife, the path seems clear: self-discovery, independence, and healing. For Jim, the road is far less certain. Will he spiral under the weight of this loss? Or will he rise above it, learning from his mistakes and becoming a better man? Only time will tell. What we do know is that this divorce has sparked a much larger conversation about relationships in the hip-hop world and beyond. It's a reminder that even the strongest-looking love stories can crack under the pressure of neglect, imbalance, and unmet needs. It's also a reminder that women don't have to stay in relationships that no longer serve them, no matter how much history is involved in the end. Jim Jones' wife walking away isn't just a personal decision, it's a cultural moment. It's the closing of one chapter and the beginning of another, not just for her and Jim, but for everyone who followed their story. And as painful as it may be for Jim, maybe this is the push he needs to truly reflect, grow, and understand what love really means when the cameras stop rolling. For now, though, the world is watching. Every move, every post, every interview will be analyzed as fans wait to see if this really is the end, or if there's still one final twist left in a love story that has defined an era of hip-hop culture. But one thing is certain: nothing will ever be the same again. Because when Jim Jones' wife finally decided to walk away, she didn't just end a marriage, she ended an illusion. And sometimes the truth hurts more than anything else. This story is far from over, and you already know the drama is only going to get messier from here. But now I want to hear from you, Doe. You think Jim Jones will fight to win his wife back? Or is this really the end of the road for one of hip-hop's most legendary love stories? Okay. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this is a conversation everyone needs to be part of. And if you've been locked into this video all the way through, don't forget to smash that like button. Lets us know you love this kind of deep dive. Hit subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you never miss the next chapter of this unfolding saga. Trust me, what's coming next is guaranteed to shock you even more. We've got exclusive updates, behind the scenes, rumors, and all. The emotional fallout from Jim Jones and his wife's divorce, so stay tuned. This is only the beginning, and you don't want to be the last to know, because when it comes to hip-hop drama, we've got you covered right here, right here. Clips of the confrontation circulated like wildfire. The moment Kirk sneered, "Y'all can't cancel me. I built this show," became an instant meme, with fans overlaying it on everything from sinking ships to dumpster fires. TikTok edits mocked his arrogance, while Twitter threads broke down every word of the fight, analyzing it like a scandalous court case. One viral tweet read, "Kirk Frost ain't built nothing but Rashida's pain and our headaches. Remove him." I racked up hundreds of thousands of likes, proving just how deeply this moment resonated with the audience. Instagram comment sections were no kinder. Under nearly every post on the official Love and Hip Hop page, fans flooded the comments demanding accountability. "Why do y'all keep protecting Kirk?" one wrote. "Every season, he embarrasses Rashida, embarrasses himself, and embarrasses the show. Enough is enough." Others went further, calling for boycotts if producers refuse to act. "If Kirk Frost is in the next season, I'm done watching. Period." And it wasn't just fans driving the outrage. Celebrities and influencers began weighing in, amplifying the conversation even further. One popular gossip blogger posted a scathing video rant, saying, "Kirk Frost has been skating by for years with the same tired storyline sheet. Apologize, repeat. Now he thinks he's untouchable. Fans deserve better. Rashida deserves better. And this show deserves better." The video quickly racked up millions of views, fueling the growing firestorm. Behind the scenes, the situation was even messier. Cast members who were on stage during the confrontation began dropping cryptic posts of their own, making it clear that the anger wasn't just for show. One cast member tweeted, "Some people mistake seniority for respect. Big difference." Another shared a photo of themselves looking unbothered with the caption, "Removing toxic energy in 2025. Fans immediately tied these comments back to Kirk, interpreting them as confirmation that even the cast is fed up with his behavior. Whispers from production insiders only made things worse. Reports began leaking that producers had to pause filming multiple times during the reunion because Kirk refused to calm down and kept escalating arguments. Some even claimed that certain cast members threatened to walk off set if Kirk wasn't removed, saying they were tired of the constant chaos surrounding him. If true, this paints a dangerous picture for producers, because when the cast is ready to walk, the entire show is at risk. But perhaps the loudest conversation in all of this wasn't just about Kirk himself. It was about Rashida. Fans have long sympathized with her for standing by Kirk through years of public embarrassment. But now, many believe enough is enough. Comments flooded her personal social media pages, urging her to break free. "Rashida, you don't need him. You're the star, not him. Let him go." Another fan wrote, "Imagine how powerful you'd be without Kirk dragging you down. We love you, but please stop letting him ruin your shine." Rashida, for her part, has remained unusually quiet. Her silence is fueling speculation. Does it mean she's finally distancing herself from Kirk? Or is she, once again, preparing to defend him when the backlash becomes unbearable? The silence speaks louder than words, and fans are desperate to know which way she'll go. Meanwhile, petitions have started popping up online. Yes, actual petitions. OneChange.org petition titled "Remove Kirk Frost from Love and Hip Hop" gathered tens of thousands of signatures in just a few days. The description accused Kirk of toxic behavior, disrespect toward women, and dragging the show into the mud for personal clout. Fans signing the petition argue that removing him is the only way to restore balance and protect the reputation of the franchise. The entertainment blogs are eating this up. Headlines scream fans revolt against Kirk Frost. Love and Hip Hop finally done protecting Kirk. And cast members fed up with Kirk Frost's antics. Each article digs deeper into his history on the show, pulling up old clips of his cheating scandals, his public fights with Rashida, and his dismissive attitude toward accountability. To fans, this isn't just one bad night, it's a pattern. A cycle that has repeated for years without consequence. And that's where the conversation gets even more intense. Accountability. Fans are demanding to know why producers have allowed Kirk to remain on the show despite his repeated controversies. One viral thread put it bluntly: if Kirk was a woman, he would have been fired years ago. Why does he keep getting passes? Producers are protecting him, and it's disgusting. That perspective is gaining traction, with many calling out what they see as favoritism and hypocrisy. The pressure on VH1 is mounting. Executives know that reality TV thrives on drama, but this time, the drama has spilled over into something bigger. It's not just about ratings anymore, it's about credibility. If the network ignores the fans and keeps Kirk, they risk alienating a massive portion of their audience. But if they cut him, they lose one of their longest-running storylines, a character viewers love to hate. It's a high-stakes gamble. And the outcome could reshape the future of the show. Even the cast dynamics are being questioned. Some fans speculate that if Kirk stays, certain cast members will refuse to film with him, creating division that could tank future seasons. Others think his presence could overshadow everything else, making the show feel less like a reality series and more like The Kirk Frost Show, something nobody seems to want, adding another layer of drama. Rumors are swirling that Kirk himself is privately bragging about the confrontation. According to an alleged insider, Kirk believes the backlash proves he's still the most talked about star on the show. He thinks all publicity is good publicity, the source claims. If that's true, it shows just how disconnected Kirk may be from the reality of the situation. Fans don't see this as entertainment anymore. They see it as toxicity, and they're demanding change. So where does this leave things? The fans are outraged, the cast is restless, and producers are caught between loyalty to a longtime cast member and the survival of the franchise. The storm around Kirk Frost is only getting stronger. And the calls for his removal aren't dying down, they're multiplying. But here's the twist. In the world of reality TV, controversy sells. And as much as fans claim to want Kirk gone, his name in the headlines, his face in the memes, and his role in the drama might be exactly what producers think will keep the ratings alive. Will they listen to the fans and cut ties with him once and for all? Or will they double down, betting that outrage will keep viewers tuning in week after week? One thing is undeniable. The movement against Kirk Frost is unlike anything we've seen before. And whether it ends with his removal or not, his reputation is already hanging by a thread. The backlash against Kirk Frost has gone beyond a trending moment. It's now threatening to completely derail his career, his marriage, and his future on Love and Hip Hop. What began as an explosive confrontation on stage has spiraled into a cultural reckoning, with fans, cast members, and even industry insiders weighing in on whether Kirk has finally reached the end of the line. As the days stretched into weeks, the pressure only intensified. Fan petitions gained more traction, with one crossing over 100,000 signatures, a milestone that caught the attention of major media outlets. Headlines blared, "Fans demand justice, remove Kirk Frost and Love and Hip Hop faces boycott over Kirk drama." The conversation wasn't just limited to social media anymore. It was spilling into podcasts, radio shows, and gossip segments. On national television, Everyone wanted to talk about the man at the center of the storm. The biggest question looming over all of this was simple. Can Kirk Frost survive this? From a career perspective, the odds are stacked against him. Reality TV is built on controversy. But there's a thin line between being the villain fans love to hate and being the villain they want erased completely. For years, Kirk straddled. That line-cheating scandals, messy storylines, and public disrespect made him infamous. But fans still tuned in. Though the tone has shifted. The calls for his removal aren't just noise. They're organized, consistent, and louder than anything we've seen in the franchise's history. Insiders claim producers are split on the issue. Some argue that Kirk's presence has become too toxic to manage, creating an environment where cast members don't want to film with him and fans are threatening to walk away. Others argue that the very controversy surrounding him proves he's still a ratings magnet. One insider allegedly told a gossip blog, "Kirk brings attention or bad. Without him, the show loses one of its most talked about figures." That perspective, however, doesn't account for the growing chorus of fans who say they're done supporting the show entirely if Kirk remains. And then there's Rashida. For years, she's stood by Kirk despite his scandals, defending him publicly while privately dealing with the fallout. But now, fans aren't just questioning Kirk, they're questioning her. Has her loyalty gone too far? Is her silence enabling him? The comments on her posts have become a mix of love and frustration. Supporters beg her to walk away from the toxic cycle, while critics accuse her of being complicit in the chaos. So far, Rashida has kept quiet, refusing to directly address the reunion drama. But silence, in this case, speaks volumes. Some believe she's protecting her brand, waiting until the storm dies down before making any major moves. Others speculate that she's finally reaching her breaking point. After all, how much longer? Can someone carry the weight of another person's mistakes before deciding enough is enough? If Rashida were to step away from Kirk, both personally and professionally, could completely change the dynamic of the franchise. Imagine Rashida rebranding herself as an independent powerhouse, finally free of Kirk's shadow. Fans are already fantasizing about it, and many believe it would revitalize her image instantly. For Kirk, though, the personal consequences are piling up just as quickly as the professional ones. Sources close to the couple say tensions at home are higher than ever. Arguments over the backlash, over his reputation, and over Rashida's silence are reportedly creating cracks in their already fragile relationship. One insider claimed Rashida's tired. She's tired of defending him, tired of being dragged into his mess. The confrontation was the last straw. That's true. Kirk may soon find himself not only removed from the show, but abandoned by the very woman who has kept him relevant all these years. And let's not forget the broader cast dynamics. Several cast members are allegedly refusing to film with Kirk moving forward, saying his energy is toxic and draining. Some are even threatening to quit if he remains. Producers are scrambling to calm the situation, but the reality is undeniable. Kirk Frost is no longer just a controversial figure. He's a liability. His presence threatens the cohesion of the cast, the loyalty of the fans, and the reputation of the franchise itself. The irony of it all is that Kirk seems largely unfazed, at least publicly. On social media, he's posted cryptic captions like, "Real ones don't break under pressure and built for this." To some fans, these posts are proof that he doesn't take the backlash seriously. To others, it's just more arrogance, more dismissal of the very real concerns being raised. Either way, the posts have only fueled the fire, with comment sections filled with anger, mockery, and demands for accountability. But here's the twist that makes this situation so complicated. Controversy sells. Every petition, every hashtag, every angry comment keeps Kirk's name in the spotlight. The reunion confrontation has become one of the most talked about moments in recent love and hip-hop history. Ratings for the episode skyrocketed, clips went viral, and the internet couldn't get enough. As much as fans claim they want him gone, the reality is that they can't stop talking about him. And in television, attention, no matter how negative's currency. So what happens next? If producers decide to remove Kirk, it would mark a turning point for the franchise. It would send a clear message that accountability matters, that fan voices hold power, and that toxic behavior won't be rewarded forever. It could also breathe new life into the show, giving space for new storylines and fresh drama that isn't weighed down by the same cycle of Kirk Shida scandals. If, however, producers choose to keep him, the gamble could backfire. Fans might walk away, boycotts could gain traction, and the show could lose credibility. Even if ratings spike in the short term, the long-term damage to the brand could be devastating. As for Kirk himself, his future is uncertain. If he's removed, he risks fading into obscurity, remembered only as the villain fans finally forced out. If he stays, he risks being the man who single-handedly dragged the show into the mud. Either way, his reputation is permanently tarnished. The image of Kirk Frost as a reality TV staple has been replaced with one of arrogance, disrespect, and toxicity. And yet, in the strange world of reality television, redemption is never completely off the table. Kirk were to take accountability, real accountability, not the half-hearted apologies fans have seen in the past. There's a chance he could slowly rebuild. But it would require humility, honesty, and a willingness to step back from the spotlight. Given his track record, though, many fans believe that's unlikely at the end of the day. The confrontation wasn't just about Kirk Frost. It was about something bigger: accountability in reality TV. For years, fans have watched toxic behavior play out on their screens with little consequence for the people behind it. This time, though, they're demanding change. And whether Kirk stays or goes, the message is clear. Fans are no longer willing to accept toxicity as entertainment. The storm surrounding Kirk Frost has exposed cracks in the very foundation of love and hip-hop. It's forced producers to reckon with the balance between drama and respect, between ratings and responsibility. And it's left Kirk himself standing at a crossroads with his marriage, his career, and his legacy hanging in the balance. Because when fans unite, they have power. And right now, all of that power is pointed at Kirk Frost. Wow, what an absolute roller coaster this has been. Kirk Frost's explosive confrontation has shaken love and hip-hop to its core, sparking outrage from fans, tension among the cast, and silence from Rashida that speaks louder than words. But now the question falls to you, the viewers, the fans, the people who've supported this show for years. Should Kirk Frost finally be removed from the franchise? Or is this just another storm that will eventually blow over? We want to hear what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't hold back. Do you believe Kirk has crossed a line that he can't come back from? Or do you think producers will use this controversy to keep him front and center for the sake of ratings? If you love this deep dive into the drama, make sure you smash that like button and share this video with your friends who follow love and hip-hop just as closely as you do. And don't forget to subscribe with notifications turned on, because we've got even more shocking updates, behind-the-scenes details, and cast reactions coming your way. Trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next.